morning. It's the 1st of May 2024. Mayday, mayday. I said. Today, we're going to talk about George Galloway, the MP for Rochdale, MP for Workers' Party of Great Britain. Not my cup of tea, really. Not everybody's cup of tea, it's not mine, but I've got to admire what he did yesterday, because he was a guest on Good Morning Britain. And what they did, they fucking ambushed him, that Susanna Reid and Madeley, and they tried to make him look a cunt, but it backfired spectacularly on them. They like verbally assaulted him, and George squared him up for fucking soundly and put him back in the box. Anyway, watch this guy. I apologise for the length of the clip, it's 3 minutes, but if you can't clip it down, if you've seen it before, just fast forward it.
I'm here
to talk about Britain.
What is the question you would like to ask yourself?
I'd like to ask myself, and wish you had asked me, about Monty Panesar, the famous left-arm spin bowler, English cricket ace, who's standing for Parliament for us in Southall. That's interesting and current.
That is interesting and current. I'd like to take you back to something else that's interesting and current, and that is what our own Prime Minister said on the steps of Downing Street when you were elected member for Rochdale. It is beyond alarming that last night the Rochdale by-election returned a candidate who dismisses the horror that happened on October the 7th, who glories Hezbollah, and was endorsed by Nick Griffin, the racist former leader of the British National Party.
Well, what am I?
And I asked you,
am I the Muslim candidate? Richard asked me off camera if I was a practicing Muslim.
Yes, based on...
I'm a practicing Roman Catholic. That's how good his press cuttings are.
I was referring you to your online profile, which talks about your conversion to Islam a number of years ago.
Well,
I was simply asking if that was still a part of your life.
False. Still a part of my life.
I'm just asking.
It's never been a part of my life.
Then why is that?
I'm a Roman Catholic in good standing. Okay?
Why do you think that profile is there on many websites, that you converted to Islam many years ago?
I don't know. It's probably running out of the same school as Rishi Sunak's false statements standing on steps in Downing Street. Isn't the key word, Susanna, elected?
Yes.
I got more votes than all the other parties put together.
Yes, but my question wasn't how many votes you got. My question was which of those statements by Rishi Sunak is wrong?
All of them. Well, I don't dismiss the horror of what happened on October 7th.
Good.
It's completely baseless.
Good.
I don't glorify Hezbollah, and I wasn't endorsed by Nick Griffin. Make up your mind, am I the champion of the Muslims, or am I endorsed by a guy who hates Muslims?
And Nick Griffin tweeted in February this year.
He issued a tweet.
Get out and vote for George Galloway today. He's not perfect, but it's the best way by far to stick two fingers up to the rotten political elite and their fake news media cronies. I didn't say you were responsible, George Galloway.
Well, why are you putting it to me?
I said, what was wrong about the fact that you were endorsed by Nick Griffin, the racist
Susanna Reid was his
BNP?
favourite television presenter.
I would absolutely reject that endorsement.
I absolutely reject it.
Good.
As I did.
Well,
so
there
there's
we go.
three
We
statements.
finally got to the end
there's three
of
statements.
the first question we asked you.
So there you go, Richard Madeley was saying, I've read on the internet that you have converted to Islam. George said, I've not. I'm a practicing Roman Catholic. But I've seen on the internet, he said, what you've seen on the internet, I'm a practicing Roman Catholic. And could you imagine them two interviewing any other MP of any party like that? That they wouldn't have done it. No matter. And I'll tell you why they did that, because the establishment stooges, that's exactly what they are. Two establishment stooges. We've got an encroacher. But hats off to George. He squared him up. And then after he'd gone off air, he tweeted and he said this, I'm going to put a Scotch accent on for you this morning. Gone for megaphone and all. And this is my Scotch accent. If I believed everything I read on the internet, I would think that Richard Madeley stole 2 bottles of champagne and was a thief. But he isn't. He just forgot to pay. Wakey, wakey! Dodgy Dave's here, Dodgy Dave's here. Get that alarm going, let's have a look at him here, other Dave. Come on, he's here. Look at this. Straight from Jim.